Beautiful people, beautiful beings, beautiful stars that shine bright in the night sky. I see you all, we are in communication. We have intelligence transmuting from one place to another. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Beautiful, beautiful goddesses and gods. Opening the doors to perception. This is what we're all going to be doing. This is just what I do. I just show you the door. You can enter if you want. It doesn't matter. I really don't give a fuck. I don't even care. I don't even care. But I want to say this I heard this the other day, and he was talking about reclaiming the mind and reclaiming authority over yourself. And he said something to me that I was like keywords. So I wrote it down. Right, you want to always write down keywords. He's like, whenever you have that, whenever you repeat a word that has been said, that you need to write that down, research it, look it up. Research. Here I go. You need to inform yourself on this word. So that's what I do. And he said, I am self-initiated. No lineage has control over me. So I reworded it. It said, because when you use that I am, this is ego talk. When you realize that we are a bunch of we are they, we are them. So when you realize this, you begin to say, we are self-initiated. So we're self-initiates. This is what, if you think about what that, if you go back before time, before the very first shaman or the very first witch or the very first psychic or whatever, all these things, nobody, it's self-proclaimed, they self-initiated themselves through self-initiation. It's not, you don't go to some secret society and you get initiated in based on knowledge and information and all this, your family history and all this nonsense. That's control. Okay, that's labeling. That's third dimension. That's lower self. That's not even, because they want you in the convenience for them. So I realized that's why you have self-destructive people. That's why you have these felons. Certain groups keep certain people out for a reason. Because we're rebels. We rebel. We say, well, that's not. We go against what they say in a sense, but not really. It's their perception of us. When we're the ones with multiple, when you start to question, is what they don't like. So they keep us out. The felonies, the felons, and the drug addicts, and the schizos, and, the witches, and the mediums, and all these other things. They keep us all out. So we become self-initiated. We become, I'm just going to start practicing magic. Start reading books. Then you get, so now so I'm gonna start. That's the moment you realize that you took control of your life. I'm gonna start reading books on shamanism, symbolism, occultism, individualism, philosophy, art, speech, language. Now you're educating yourself. You're taking it upon yourself to go against society, what other people say, and how people evolve, and what makes people move, and what makes you angry, and all these other things. We're like, fuck all that. That's a system. We need to turn our back on that and say, I'm going to study what makes myself angry. So now you're surrendering to yourself. What makes me angry? Why does it? Okay, I don't like this. Why don't I like this? I just don't like it. Then memories will come about, whatever the case may be, whatever's linked to that problem. Like some certain foods, our body don't, do well with certain foods and that. Why? The more you observe yourself, the more dark the world becomes. So it's a test the reality of it, and I see how these people, just all about conspiracy, it's third dimensional. It's a third dimensional. That's nothing about awakening. That's not awakening. I think that's sort of like a cult, right? It's sort of like a mind manipulation, control. You're trying to control nature by using some sort of conspiracy. But if you need, so now, well, how do I get out of that? Well, you need to speak differently. For one, you need to speak with authority. You need to start getting philosophical, metaphorically speaking. Speak in metaphors. Speak in your experience. What does that conspiracy? What did you experience in your life that conspiracy is reflecting? Is it something to do with you personally? No, it doesn't. It's got something to do with your mind. They know, because once you can think of that, they got you. Just like that. You're in third dimension, or whatever their agenda is. You're like, fuck. Just when you hear of when you just think of the Pope, boom, they got you. Pope has got you. Because now you're like, well, that fucking dude, man, the whole Vatican's, boom, they got you. There you go. It's way across half of the world, and they got you. They got you. That's what culture does. That's what the cult-ure does. That's what these things do. And right away, you're down. Boom, and the higher self just up here like this. Yep, it's a nice day today. Sun shining. Beautiful out. Moon's shining. Stars are shining. Damn. What is he doing down there? Motherfucker. Well, he needs to lighten up. He needs to get back to the state where he lives, number one. Damn, what is he doing? What is he really doing down there? How is that affecting him? So you mean to tell me that's physically affecting his body? Physically. It is, really. Wow. Just because you think, right across the world like that, and it's got you, and you're all this and that, you're thinking about all these things that you hear. Now you start believing because you believe what you hear. But in my sort of motto, I don't believe anything I hear, nothing. And you only believe a small percentage of what you see. That's it. That's all. I go by vibration, frequencies, patterns. That's where it's really at. Isn't that what Nikola Tesla says? Is that you want to overstand the universe and think in terms of vibrations and all this frequency. If it's a low frequency, why are you still fucking with it? Why is he down there still in this low frequency vibration pattern nonsense? Look at him, smoking cigarettes, combusting his medicine, combusting their herbs. What are they doing? Putting them combustion or stuff in their bodies. Ain't no good. Think about that. Really think about that. That's the question for real intellectuals, to think about all that. How does that physically affect you? How is it affecting your mind? How does it affect you as a being? What does it have to do with you? And if you can see what it has to do with you, then you'd be like, oh, now you're healing something, you're releasing something. But if you're like, I don't even know why, I was just believing it because that's what they always said. Right. Listen to what you just said. That's what they always have said. Oh, I've been manipulated for years because I've always believed what they said, so I was a prisoner of what they said. We are self-initiated. And by we, when I use this term we, I'm talking from a higher consciousness speech. There is no I or me here. It's us and them and we. And then he said, no lineage has control over me. Think about this. No lineage. I mean, like, right, let's look up the word lineage for just to get the whole description of it. So that tells me that if you go into a practice, say yoga or witch magic type shit, right? Well, we all know that in these type of things, there's these gods, okay, the gods that we all call upon and all this stuff. Lineage. She even says it. Lineage. So listen, lineal descent from an ancestor, ancestry or pedigree. Ancestry, family, parentage, birth, descent, line, extraction, derivation, heritage, right? Dynasty, house, genealogy, origin, race, strain, stock, background, bloodline, blood, breeding, pedigree, succession. And I've thought about that. Think about that. And you're in witchcraft. Think about it. Think about the lineage that you're under control of. And I know some yoga people who are under control of the lineage of yoga and Reiki and witchcraft. Yeah, it's powerful, but we're not here to take on someone else's stuff. We're only here to extract, like a bee. Extract the honey you need, that's all. And go on. That's it. No lineage has control over me, over us. I said me. I caught myself, didn't I? I said me. You know why I didn't cross it? Because I am cross out. I didn't cross out me because when I hear, this is where it's weird. My perception of the word me is, again, moving energy, manipulating energy, menstrual energy, right? Masculine energy. You know, it defines differently. So I guess I have to explain it in a broader sense of the word me. It's not just me. It's not ego, but again, it's more hidden. So I've thought about the whole, this whole lineage thing with where I've been, and the story of Inky and the whole Roman mythology, Lucifer, Diana. These are lineages. This is part of our soul. So to get out of that control is to just turn your back. Turn your back on it. Not in a sense to where you're like forgetting. I mean, it's all great. You can walk side by side with each other. But soon you'll realize that you're the one that they need to look up to. So now they become sort of like you get thrown out into this pack of wolves, but you come back leading the pack. So you come out of this lineage, leading the lineage. A new era. A new philosophy, a new way of being, a new way of thinking, a new way of seeing, a new way of talking, a new language. So in a sense, the lineage is like culture, is a controlling tactic. And that's why certain traditions, I get all the, certain sects of witchcraft and Freemasonry or the Knights of Templar or the Moorish temples of science. All these different sects. I get all of that. But there's a new movement here. Those things are trying to control the rebels, right? The disturbed people who don't really know that they're a psychic or a medium or a self-initiate. Now, and how do you what are you initiating yourself into? Well, you're creating your own lifestyle, for one. So you're back to where you pretty much have no clothes on your back. But you're here right now. So you're rediscovering yourself, like, okay, well, that I'm just meant to, if I'm going to take care of if I'm taking care of my inner body, my mental state of mind, the soul, and all these things, and everything else will just sort of connect itself to it. Sort of like this attraction, this magnetic traction that we have around here in the physical world. Oh, you start looking at it as through metaphorically or symbolism, some sort of symbol there. When you just that thought alone, well, this is this, and why am I attracted to this sort of thing? Music or poem or something. There's something in something everywhere, always, anywhere. And all these great, these great philosophers or poets, their bodies are just filled and filled. Like when all those ancients died, a library has vanished. And after that library has vanished, then the stories could be changed, manipulated in certain ways. And that's what I think. A lot of things happen, especially with witchcraft and all these things. Like, because back then it was, whoever was writing, the author or the whoever, got the book, get passed around the community and so forth. And as times went on, it was a form of information. And then, when that person died, maybe the form of information slightly changes a little bit, picks up a different name, of a bad rep. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. That was, we are self-initiated. We are initiates. No lineage has control over us. Listen to that part. Say that again. No. So now you are aware. So basically, say that. No lineage has control over us. Say it like that. That sounds a little more realizing that the lineage, you are the lineage. You are one with the lineage that has no control over us. We're all co-partners. We're all, co-creators in the new movement of self-evolution, in the new mental movement. What about that? This whole mental movement. It's a divine mental movement is what's really going on. So who's a part of this divine mental movement? Who's going to co-create with me? Is the real intellectual, for a question for a real intellectual, is who and how? How is this pattern going to turn out? Where are these intellectuals at? They might not be my neighbors. They might not be the people walking around the store. They might be one of you somewhere, sitting somewhere in some fucking town somewhere. I don't know. I just know that it's all there. It's all clear as day. Like, I can see it. I don't even need to close my eyes to see it. I can see it. It's happening as we speak. This whole divine mental movement. It's a mental state of divineness, divinity. The mental state of divinity movement. Right? It's a movement. It's a movement. The divinity of the mental mind. The mental mind of divinity. The divinity of the mental mind. Which is it? Which do you prefer? Which sounds catchy and not disregarded as schizophrenic or crazy or bipolar or too much anxiety? You're not right. You need help. And remember, the ones judging, they're judging themselves. So when a society says you need help, one individual, you need help. The society needs help. But the society doesn't know that the witch or the psychic or the shaman or the medium is there to help the society. And that's the game. That's what we know. We're just here because we are actually the seed in society. Society's pointing the fingers, but yet sometimes we just put up a mirror. So, you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. And again, no lineage has control over us. When you say us, you know that there's a team somewhere. It's there. So, on that lovely note, thank you for tuning in again, as always. Not much to end it with, so be inspiring, be fucking magical, and let's hear it. Where are we? What is this movement? Is it the divinity of the mind or the mental? Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. So, as they say, follow the unicorn. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.